What's up, guys? Today we found out the final release date of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It's going to be November 19th, only a few months away, which is really awesome. And hey, what better way to prepare ourselves for those new games coming out than to rank every Gen 4 Pokemon that is going to be available in those games. We're going to get right to it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoy the video, and let's rank these Pokemon.
It's hot.
So for this tier list, we are going to be ranking all of the Gen 4 Pokemon only for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We don't know all of the Pokemon that are going to be available, so we're just going to do Gen 4 because we know they will be in it for sure. We're only going to be doing Final Evolutions, so we're not going to get carried away with every different form of the Pokemon, and obviously any legendary restricted mons, we're not going to rank those because usually they're just not available for competitive anyway, and obviously this will be for a VGC doubles format. So S, A, B, C tier is what we're going to go over. S tier is going to be a absolutely crazy Pokemon that is going to be something you want on every team. A tier is going to be very high level, really good stats, good move pool. It's going to be very strong. B is going to be a Pokemon that still is not bad, but you kind of have to build a team around it if you want to use it. And then C is going to be basically Pokemon that are just pretty weak. It's going to be hard to use them. There's going to be something better for you than any C tier Pokemon. So let's get started. First Pokemon we got is Torterra. Torterra is okay. Its stats are meh. They're okay. Decently bulky, decent attack, decent HP. It's going to be a pretty bulky Pokemon, but it is very slow. Could be maybe used in a Trick Room team if you do want grass ground type. Decent typing. So I think I'm going to put it in B because I think it will be viable, but it's not going to be quite up there in A tier. And next we're going to have Infernape, and I actually really like Infernape a lot. Infernape's got very fast speed, 108 speed, which is going to be very good at this base tier that we start out as. There's not many Pokemon here as we look through that really are going to be outspeeding it, and it gets very good stab moves, and it's also going to be able to get a lot of coverage moves. So I'm going to put Infernape in A. I think it will be used, and I think it's a pretty good Pokemon. Next up for our last starter is going to be Empoleon, and we did see a little bit of use. We've seen a couple teams come out with this. Nothing super competitive, but I think it's pretty good typing, water and steel. It does get the Defiant ability, and that's going to let you, get your attack raised whenever you get intimidated, something like that. And Intimidate's always good, so I think Empoleon's definitely usable. It is decently slow with a 60 speed, so I'm going to probably put it in B tier with Torterra as well. Next, we're going to go with Staraptor. Now, Staraptor does have Intimidate. There is not many Intimidate users this gen, so if you want to Intimidate on your team, Staraptor might be the one. It's pretty fast, pretty good attack. Honestly, I'm going to put it in A tier. I'm putting it in A. And by the way, we're assuming there's going to be no Dynamax in this game. We're going to assume there's Megas. Just based on what we know about the game, it's supposed to be pretty much just an exact remake, so I don't think Dynamax is going to be in here. So we're not going to take into account Dynamax at all when we're looking through this. So next up, Bibarel. Honestly, Bibarel's trash. It's pretty much a meme. I would not use Bibarel if I were you. C tier. All right, we got Kricketune. Bug type. Pretty terrible stats. Bug types are just not very good. I'm going to put Kricketune in C tier. Next up, we do have Luxray. Now, Luxray is pretty cool. It does get Intimidate, which is great. As I said, there's not a ton of Intimidate users. And also, it gets Guts too, which means if you want to go with a more offensive version, I think you could do that. Electric type, yeah, pretty good. I'm putting Luxray in A tier. I definitely think it'll be used. Next up, Roserade. Pretty good typing, grass and poison, kind of like Venusaur, and we know how much Venusaur is used right now. But, not quite as much speed, because obviously Venusaur has chlorophyll. But I think either way, decent Pokemon, and I think it would definitely be probably a high pick for a grass type, so I'm going to put Roserade in A tier. Definitely think it's a very good A tier pick. Next up, Rampardos. Now, Rampardos, if you don't know, has crazy attack, 165 base attack, which is insane. It also does get Mold Breaker, which is pretty cool. You can hit stuff with Levitate, like Rotom, for super effective damage with Earthquake, which is awesome. It also gets Sheer Force. So this thing's going to be hitting hard. It's very slow, 58 speed, so Trick Room team for sure. I think it could be used definitely on a dedicated Trick Room team. I'm going to put it in B tier, though, because it's just not... You kind of have to build around that thing. Next up, Bastiodon. Very defensive, very slow, horrible attack. Rock Steel, you know, it's basically... It's just not very good. It's bulky. We're going in C tier, though. It's going to be hard to use it. Definitely very hard to use that thing. And I forget what these things are called. But they're all different types, but these things are trash. I'm just going to warn you right now. They're all trash. I believe they're all bug grass, bug ground, and bug psychic. They're garbage. Don't use them. I do forget their names, though. And then Mothim, which is the other thing. Instead of evolving to this, you can evolve into Mothim. Yeah, Mothim sucks as well. So just stay away from those. I would stay away from those. Not very good. C tier for all of those bug types. Next, Vespiquen. There is quite a lot of bug types this generation for some reason. You know, Vespiquen has decent defense and stuff. It's very slow. And again, bug's just not very good. So we got to go with C tier. Then we got the crowd favorite here, Pachirisu. Honestly, Pachirisu is an excellent supportive Pokemon. Follow Me, Nuzzle, just super, super strong. And also Volt Absorb. I mean, super great, especially if you have flying types or water types. We're going to go A tier for Pachirisu. I definitely think it is a high tier supportive type Pokemon for sure. Then coming in, we got Floatzel. Floatzel is actually pretty cool. Good attack, 105, not bad. 115 speed, that's really fast this gen. It's super fast. And it's Swift Swim. So I think this is going to be your main Swift Swim user if you are going to run some sort of a rain team. It also gets Aqua Jet, Ice Punch. You know, not a bad Pokemon. Now, there's no, as far as I know, there's nobody in Gen 4 that does give rain with its ability. So, depending on that, rain might be kind of hard to set up. So, I'm going to put B just because I don't think rain's going to be that good. But if rain becomes more prevalent, I think we could see Floatzel go up to A. Because, like I said, it is pretty fast. And it could actually be a decent standalone water type, even without getting that Swift Swim off. Next up, we're going to go with Cherrim here. Cherrim is, honestly, it's pretty garbage. I'm not going to lie. It's just... It's good with a Sunny Day user, I suppose. If this somehow gets like Rage Powder or something like that, it would be broken. But basically, it's kind of a one-trick pony. You need it with some kind of Pokemon with Drought. I guess if you had Torkoal, well, it only boosts attack, not special attack. So, you know, I'm going for C tier unless something crazy happens and like we're allowed to play Groudon or something. You know, Cherrim's just not going to be very good. This is the other form of Cherrim when Sunny Day is active. Gastrodon, absolutely A tier. Great typing, being water ground, only weak to grass, and, you know, has stuff like Recover, Ice Beam, Earth Power. I mean, it's just a great Pokemon. Really strong. Definitely an A tier Pokemon. Next up is Ambipom. Ambipom is certainly a supportive sort of Pokemon. It gets Fake Out. You can do shenanigans with Fling and King's Rock to give sort of two fake outs in a row if that's what you want to do. It's pretty fast. Not a horrible Pokemon by any means. More of a supportive type. I think we're going to go B tier with Ambipom. Certainly viable, but not going to be something you want on every team. And we got Drifblim, another supportive Pokemon. It does give access to Tailwind. Unburden, also going to be a really great move to let you get even faster. There's probably not going to be any terrains, though, which is kind of how Drifblim was used. You would give it a, you know, for instance, a Grass Seed and use Rillaboom, and then it would use the Grass Seed up, gain its boost, and then it would have Unburden, be super fast. You can get up Tailwind. We don't know that there's going to be any terrains available in this game, so we're gonna go B tier just because we don't know about terrains. If there was terrains, I would definitely put it in A tier. After that, we do have Lopunny here, and Lopunny's kind of meh by itself. It's just a normal type, not really gonna be doing too much here. Lopunny's gonna go C tier. Now Mega Lopunny, I'm gonna go with A. It's super, super fast. I mean, crazy, crazy fast. And it also gets that fighting type, which is going to be way better. And a ton of attack. I mean, it's pretty strong. I haven't really seen it used in doubles, as obviously we haven't really had mega forms in a long time. But absolutely going to be an A tier. It's going to get access to Fake Out, good, strong stab moves. Certainly a solid Pokemon. Next up, Mismagius. It does have Levitate, which is, kind of cool, making it immune to ground. And the stats are not bad. 105 speed, really, really strong. 105 special attack, also good. And a good special defense at 105. Its defense, regular defense, pretty bad. But it has decent spread moves. I'm going to put it in B tier. Not a horrible ghost type if you're looking for a special-based ghost type Pokemon on your team. After that, we see Honchkrow here. And Honchkrow, I think, is a decent attacker. It's not that fast. You're only seeing a 71 base speed. Kind of slow, but 125 attack is really good. And it also has 100 HP. Not too bad. I think it's a decent Pokemon. We're going to put it in B if you kind of want a dark flying attacker on your team. Not too bad. Purugly. Next up, normal types are just bad. It's fast, 112 speed, but normal types are just bad. Not too much else to say here. And then Chingling is the next Pokemon. It gets Levitate, which is, again, kind of cool, but it has horrible stats. So we got to go C tier with that. And next up, where are we? Skuntank. It's another Pokemon that's just not very strong. It's basically best stat is its HP, but its defenses are low. And it's basically just kind of worthless. So we're going to go C tier with Skuntank. Not really going to be used there. Bronzong, on the other hand, is a great Pokemon. Does have two good abilities with Levitate and Heat Proof, offering, sort of different immunities almost. I mean, Heat Proof is an immunity, but helps you against fire types, which can be really nice. Obviously, very defensive. Great Trick Room setter. We're going A tier. Bronzong's just very strong Pokemon, very strong. All right, we're gonna skip over these baby Pokemon because they're just not ever going to be used. There's like no point in even going over the baby types. All right, so Chatot, flying type, normal type, stats are pretty low. Really nothing special about it. We're gonna go C tier. There'd be no real reason to use it. Spiritomb. Again, it's kind of just a ghost type, decent defenses, but if you're looking for a supportive ghost type, I mean, there's just better options. There's honestly just better options. So we're going to go C tier with Spiritomb here. And here, one of my favorite Pokemon up next is Garchomp. Garchomp, absolutely insane. Really good speed at 102, 130 attack, which is so good. Now, it doesn't have great abilities. But it does get, Earthquake, obviously. It's going to be a very strong Pokemon. We are going A tier. And Mega Garchomp, also going A tier. It's just another very strong Mega form that you could definitely use on your team. Yeah, Garchomp, going to be busted. Honestly, going to be busted in this format, I believe. Next up, Lucario. Lucario, if you remember at the beginning of Sword and Shield meta, Lucario saw a lot of play. It's just a standard good Pokemon, and it also has Justified, meaning you can do some shenanigans with Beat Up if you want. So definitely a strong Pokemon. We're going to put it in A. We're also going to be putting Mega Lucario in A. Again, it just kind of does what Lucario does, but a little bit better. Another strong Mega type. Definitely deserving of A tier, I do believe. All right. Keep it moving here. Hippowdon. Hippowdon is going to be the main sand user on your team. It's going to set that Sandstorm up. Decent attack, decent defense, good HP, pretty bulky. Special defense could be a little better. Very slow. Definitely usable on a Trick Room team. We're going to go B tier with it because I don't think sand's going to be that great, but it still is a decent option if you just want a good ground type. For like a Trick Room team, for instance. Drapion, we did see a couple teams in Sword and Shield with Drapion, so we know it's at least viable. It has decent coverage moves on it. Its stats are not super great. Its speed's okay at 95, but it's not going to be hitting super hard. So I think we'll go B. It still has, I think, some use with being a poison dark type. But it's definitely not going to be something you want on every team for sure. So not an A tier, just a B tier on that. Toxicroak. Honestly, Toxicroak, it's kind of underwhelming. It has okay attack. It's a 85 speed's getting a little into the range of you're not sure what it's going to outspeed and what it's not. So nothing really to write home about. We're going to go B tier because I think it is viable, but it's not going to be your first choice probably for a poison type, in my opinion anyway. And Carnivine is going to be next for grass type. I mean, it has decent attack at 100. Levitate, again, kind of cheeky. Levitate's not bad. We're just going to go B tier. I mean, it's usable, but it's nothing. It's nothing too crazy. It gets some decent moves. It gets Power Whip, which is cool, but nothing crazy there. Lumion, Swift Swim user, but it's literally just worse than Floatzel in every possible way. So we're going C tier with Lumion. Mantine, again, it's basically just worse than Floatzel. I mean, it's flying type. It has good special defense though, which is kind of cool, but there's really no reason to use it over Floatzel that I can see. I mean, if you're going with a Swift Swim user, you usually want to be fast and have a lot of attack or special attack. This doesn't really have it. It's more defensive, so not really going to be a top tier pick. Abomasnow, honestly, it's just horrible typing. Its stats are not that great, so C tier, honestly. But Mega Abomasnow, we're going to put in B. I think it is not as strong as maybe some of the other Megas we've seen here, like Garchomp or Lucario, but it gets a lot better. Its stats just go kind of insane, and it can actually set Aurora Veil, but you're probably going to use it as an attacker. Again, its typing's still not that good, but at least you have the extra defenses and the extra attack. It's going to be put on some work, so it's definitely a viable Pokemon that you can use. Next up, Weavile, and we're getting sort of the middle of the list here. Weavile, great Pokemon, Fake Out, decent attack, very fast. We're going to put Weavile in A. I think it's going to be pretty strong starting out here on teams. I mean, Ice type, definitely very good, especially because of Garchomp. Garchomp's probably going to see a lot of play. So Weavile could be a very good option, especially if there's a lot of Garchomps running around. And next up is going to be Magnezone, and I think Magnezone's very strong. Steel, Electric is pretty good typing, and it's a little bit slow, so maybe more on a Trick Room style team, but 130 special attack, very good. I am going to put it in A tier because I just think it's going to be good on like a Trick Room team. We didn't really get to see it much in Sword and Shield because the rules sort of changed right after we were allowed to use it. So I think it'll be interesting, and I think it's definitely going to see play for sure. Licky, it's just bad stats. It's just bad stats. We're going C tier. We're just going straight C tier with that. Rhyperior, you already know Rhyperior. I honestly want to put Rhyperior in S tier because if you've been to my channel for a while, you know that one of my first teams I was using Rhyperior on as a Trick Room team, and it was broken. It was so broken. Although this thing's not as good without Dynamax. It's insane with Dynamax, but it's still very strong. I'm still putting an A tier for Trick Room teams. Absolutely A tier. Pokemon Tangrowth. You know, it's a little bulky. Decent attack, very slow. I think we're going B tier with it. You can use it. Probably not going to be your first option, though. Electivire. I actually like Electivire a lot. It's pretty cool. Motor Drive ability. I'm not actually sure if any other Pokemon have the Motor Drive ability, but it lets it have electric immunity, and its speed gets raised if it's hit by an electric type attack. So you can do some pretty cool things with it. We're going to go B tier. Good attack, not horrible speed. Pretty generically solid Pokemon. Good for a B tier. Magmortar up next, and I think that's going to be right in B tier as well. I think in most cases you'd rather just run Infernape over Magmortar, but Magmortar, decent special attack if you're looking for a special attacker for a fire type. It's going to be pretty decent, not bad. Only 83 speed though, so you got to watch with that. That's why I think Infernape's just a lot better overall, because you'd rather have the speed than a little boost in attack. But Certainly a viable option for a team. And here we go. Togekiss. Togekiss is insane. If you remember back in the beginning of Sword and Shield and kind of all the way through, I mean, Togekiss has been a menace, one of the strongest Pokemon. And we are going S tier with Togekiss. I know that without Dynamax, things are a little different, and part of the reason why Togekiss was so strong is you could go with a supportive one with Follow Me, or you could go just full attack with Dynamax, hitting Dazzling Gleams, Air Slashes, but it's honestly S tier. I really believe it's going to be S tier again. It's such a strong Pokemon. All right, moving on. Yanmega, it's a bug type, bug flying. Certainly better than the other bug flying types like Vespiquen. But bug type's just bad. We'll go with B though. It's not horrible. It does get speed boost as an ability, which is pretty cool. Can keep getting faster and faster. But again, bug type's just generally pretty terrible. Leafeon. So we did see some teams with Leafeon a little bit. Nothing too competitive, but we did see it with the Chlorophyll ability. Going to be doubling its speed. I think it's viable. I don't think it's great though, so I think it's a perfect B tier mon. You can definitely build a team around it if you want. And then there's Glaceon. Decent special attack. It's pretty slow though, and yeah, Ice type's just kind of trash. I think we're gonna put it in C. Yeah, Ice is just a bad typing, and I know. You know what? We could probably go B just because of Garchomp, but Garchomp's outspeeding us. And if they rock slide us, we're just gonna die. Well, maybe not. We have decent defense. You know what? All right, I've convinced myself. We'll go B tier. But you just gotta be a little worried about your speed on the Glaceon there. Glisker. Glisker is a super cool Pokemon, and if you don't know, it's a ground flying type, which is really amazing typing. There's another Pokemon I know that's pretty good with ground flying type, Landorus. So Glisker, very good. I mean, not great attack. 95 attack is not good, but 125 defense is very good. 95 speed is not horrible either, and it does have Poison Heal, which lets you poison yourself with like a Poison Orb, and then you just basically have 1/8 heal every turn, which is pretty cool. And then you can use Acrobatics. I think it's a decent Pokemon. Could see some use if you don't want to use Garchomp. It is 4 times weak to Ice as well though. But I think B tier is fine for Glisker. Mamoswine, another ground type. I'm going to be putting Mamoswine up in A. And the reason is it's very strong, right? 130 attack, very good. 80 speed, not too bad. But the real reason it's up here is two reasons. It gets Oblivious, which now means that you can't be intimidated, which obviously that's always great for a physical attacker. But Ice type's very good against Garchomp, right? Garchomp's got to run and hide if you have an Ice type out. So that's a reason I think Mamoswine's definitely going to see a lot of use, just because Garchomp's so strong. I just think Mamoswine is not a bad counter to have against a Garchomp. So, all right, moving on. Porygon Z. I did have a team with Porygon Z early on, and Porygon Z is great. I love Porygon Z. It's definitely not as good though without Dynamax. So we're gonna go B tier. Dynamax makes Porygon Z broken because you just literally spam Max Strike. You lower their speed. You're getting adaptability. It's just hitting so hard. But outside of Dynamax, it's just not hitting as hard. It's still okay, definitely still usable, but we're just going to go B tier. As I said, normal types just generally are not super great. All right, Gallade. I think Gallade is a decent Pokemon. Could see some use. It does have Justified, similar to Lucario. Some of the shenanigans you can do with Beat Up Justified is pretty cool, but I think it's just a little bit worse than Lucario in that instance as a fighting type. I think I'd just always rather have Lucario. A little bit faster, more options with Lucario, but it's still viable. Mega Gallade, again, I think we're going to go B tier with it because I would just, most of the time, I would just rather have Lucario than Gallade. That's basically the reason. Still viable. It's still a fine Pokemon, but I think just Lucario is just the better option there. All right, and then we go with Probopass. Probopass, Rock Steel type, funny mustache looking thing, but you know, very defensive, horrible attack stats. I guess you just want like a big wall, I guess. You could go for it in a Trick Room team. I'm going to put it in B tier. Nah, we're going to go C tier. Yeah, it's just not very good. You could do some Mimi stuff with it in Trick Room. Could be kind of funny. You know, maybe do something with Body Press. I don't actually know if it's going to get Body Press, but if it does, it's not horrible. It is better than Bastodon, though. Definitely better than that, but still just not that great. Not that great overall. Dusknoir. I'm going to put Dusknoir in B. Dusknoir did get Poltergeist. So assuming it has access to Poltergeist again, that's a very good physical ghost attack. Also gets Shadow Sneak, which is going to be good for priority. It's slow. Definitely be used on a Trick Room team. It can set Trick Room itself. I honestly wanted to make a team with this in Sword and Shield. Never got around to it, but I think it's decent. We're going B tier. Frostlass. Frostlass is Ghost Ice. I mean, Ice, as I said, has use against Garchomp, which makes it decent, but as a supportive Ghost type, I think it's probably just worse than some other options. I think we're just going to go C tier with it. I just don't see a lot of use in it. I think there's just better options for Ghost types. There's plenty of Ghost types. All right, now we're into our Rotoms. Rotoms are pretty good here. So let's go Heat Rotom, A tier. I mean, Rotom's been like a competitive, like high tier competitive Pokemon for a long time. So definitely Heat, definitely Wash for sure. Fan, you know, we'll go B. These ones aren't as good. C tier for the plain Rotom. Frost Rotom, we'll go B. And then Grass Rotom, we will go A. So obviously these three are usually the main ones. Just getting an extra fire, water, or grass type attack is just very, very beneficial. They all have Levitate, which is a great ability, especially when you're electric type. They're all pretty bulky. They're all decently attack based. They can be fast, slow, bulky. You just have so many options with Rotom, which is really what makes it best. And these three are the main ones to use because usually you use Rotom to fill out your team. If you have like a weakness, you need a fire type, throw a Rotom on there, you're probably good to go. So definitely A tier for those. Flying type and the typing's just not as good basically. That's why they're in B. Okay, and the rest of these are actually just going to be restricted mons. Uxie and all those. Dialga, which is pretty sweet. Palkia. Heatran, Regigigas. I mean, we're just going to put all these into the restricted because we're not going to be able to use those. Manaphy, Darkrai, obviously a mythic type Pokemon, not going to be able to be used. Shaman, same thing, and Arceus, not going to be able to use those. And let's see, we can get the whole tier list except for the restricted mons in one picture, which is pretty great, but let me scroll down here because my face is covering it. But there you can see hopefully all of our tier list right there. And this is kind of just my first opinions of what I think is going to be good in competitive for Gen 4 when it does get released. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with my picks? Do you think I misjudged something? I put it too high or put it too low? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what all of you think about these Gen 4. And let me know if you're excited for Diamond and Pearl to come out this November. I know I am. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.